Hi everyone. I don't think I've ever vlogged this early in the morning before. It's like 8 something and I should be getting my butt in gear to get to work. But two things I want to talk about today. One is going back to work like I'd say full time, but like going back to work in the capacity that you were at like before all the drama happened with breast cancer and with your old body and your younger body and what that does to you. Because right now I have, well, hold on, I'm all over the place. I have this little friend. Thank God my son left us home. It's an ice pack, and my back has been totally killing me. My lower back, I wish I had Tiger Balm. I used to, and then it got gross and disgusting when I had my flood. Rewind 7 months ago's vlog. Yeah, my lower back really hurts. I might stop at CVS to get some Tiger Balm. Why does my back hurt? And the second thing I want to talk to you today, and partly why I'm like slowing things down with this mug that I got from Buy Nothing. I'd rather be in bed. The second thing I want to talk about today is when your friends get breast cancer and you're a breast cancer survivor yourself. I feel like I want to talk about that first because that's what's weighing on my head, because right now one of my friends is being wheeled in right now to have a double mastectomy, and it's bringing up a lot. And the weird thing is that I did a vlog a while ago, like almost shortly after I was diagnosed, about one of my friends that I've known for a really, really, really long time who was diagnosed right around the same time that I was. It was the vlog about I'd say sorry, but I'm not. It's so funny because this person that's going in for surgery today, like, she's, I don't know how to explain it, kind of like a work colleague. And I've never actually met her in real life, though I've worked alongside her for like 9 years, so I feel like I know her. And I think because she's younger than me, I feel very protective over her. And it makes me sad that this happened to her. And it makes me sad that like she's going through all the things that like I've been talking about for the past 200 vlogs. And I appreciate so much, and that's not even the right word, that these vlogs that I'm doing have been such a resource and provided so much information to people that are going through this process. And when it's random people that I don't know, like it warms my heart. But when it's people that like I know that are looking at my vlogs, like, you know, what can I expect tomorrow when I go into surgery? And they'll look at my vlog for where I was that day. And that just really, really hits home in a very strong way. Which is why I wanted to come on. And I've been sleeping better, by the way. I fell asleep last night. I never took my makeup off, so I think one of the things that I hear makes me endearing is that I don't get all dolled up before my vlogs. I just kind of hit record. And yeah, all of a sudden I've been snorting while I'm laughing. I don't know what the heck that's all about. Yeah, like rolled out of bed and just did one of these things, and then I still have my makeup on from yesterday, which I'll get off, and my back is killing me. And I never unpacked my hat from when I went away to Canyon Ranch. Anyway, so yeah, let me talk about that first. So I did a vlog very much in the beginning. It was titled something like what has something about marching band, because my friend that was diagnosed, we were both flute players. She was first chair, I was second chair. I tried very hard to get in that first chair spot. It didn't happen. Anyway, I've known her for a really, really long time. And her journey's been different from mine. Like, I didn't need chemo or radiation. sometimes I say that like I feel bad, not bad, I feel less breast cancer-y if I say like, oh, I didn't have chemo or radiation. Oh, well, then you didn't have it as bad. Like, I can't know what chemo and radiation is like because I haven't been through it. I do know what hormone therapy is like and what it's done to my body. Note said ice pack. And what having a double mastectomy does to you and your body. Even, I'm over 2 years since I've had my surgery. And then maybe, I don't know, 2 months ago or something, another friend of mine from high school, or not even from high school, I've known her for a very, very long time, back to grade school. I don't know why I said high school. I've known her since elementary school. She was diagnosed. And if anything, I had the genetic testing done. Everything came back like there was no genetic markers. There's nothing to blame. The only thing that seemed weird to me was my mom got breast cancer, and that was what sparked all of this stuff for me. But when women get breast cancer and they're like elderly, like and they're over 70 or so, I think they kind of assume that anyone over the age of like 70 is going to get some sort of cancer at some point just because your body's aging. So they don't really count that. I know that sounds not kind how I'm saying it, but they don't really count that as a family history. If your parent is elderly and they have a certain kind of cancer, that then you're going to get that cancer too. Of course they note it and stuff, but they can't say that because my mom had breast cancer, then you are too. And she had no genetic markers and I have no genetic markers. There is some other breast cancer in my family, but not like kind of spread out like cousins and whatever. And they're all overseas, so I don't even know if I imagine they would do genetic testing too. But the point was, my mom having breast cancer is what brought me to get the MRI done. And the MRI was just supposed to be a baseline for me because my mammograms were clear and no lump was felt. See, that's something I have this weirdness about. I was watching, I'm all over the place as usual. I was watching, there was a thing on WBZ about Olivia Boger, who started Runway for Recovery. And one of the stories of that they were talking about, the woman said, blah, 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 and I felt a lump, blah, blah, blah. I never had a lump. And it's such a common misconception, I think, that like, that's what you find. You find the lump, I didn't have a lump. I'd had breast pain, but not associated with the breast cancer. I had breast pain like a long time ago and I thought something was wrong and it wasn't. The scary weird thing is that like when you have breast cancer, it doesn't hurt. It hurts after when you're going through all the treatments and stuff. But a lot of people will say I was in the best shape ever, and I had breast cancer and didn't even know it. I had it for probably, they're guessing, a year and a half. And in that year and a half time, I was, I just weighed in recently. So I was, at that time, 35 pounds less than what I weigh right now. I can't say all my weight gain is from cancer, by the way, because I did watch an old vlog or something that I watched and I said how much I weighed and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I didn't gain 30 pounds from the meds. It was more like 25 or 20, 20 from the meds. The pandemic, I guess, put another 10 on me. Anyhow, it was that MRI that caught things for me because I didn't have the lump. And I can't say that, like, there was, anyway, that's not the point of where I'm going, and I talked about that before. There's just a weird feeling of, like, because I didn't have chemo, it's like I didn't have it as bad. And it's not, like, good or bad, it's just different. I mean, obviously, every kind of treatment has its own good and bad. Anyway, so yeah, my other friend was diagnosed. She's going through a pretty tough battle right now because she's back having stuff done. And obviously I've known them for such a long time, since I was a kid. Oh, and so what my point was, what I was what links all of us growing up together is that we all lived on Long Island and like grew up down there. So lived there for, I was down there for 21 years. Um, and that's what has us all linked. And environmental things, which are beyond your control, they're just basically where you live. As a baby, I didn't really have a choice as to where I lived. I was where I was. And if anything, that's the tie that probably increased my risk of getting breast cancer, just by living in that pocket on Long Island, because Long Island does have, or I don't know if it's a whole island or just parts of it, but there is an increased breast cancer risk in on Long Island in New York. Why? I don't know. I could do the research, but what's the point? Like, my boobs are gone. These are fake if you didn't get the memo. So when this other woman was diagnosed, I was really taken aback. Like I said, she's younger than I am. And her journey is very similar to mine. Even weirdly to the point of what time her surgery was today. I'm like, oh, that's what time my surgery was. That's weird. And I think that's part of why I connect with it so much. And because she really was there and did some really sweet things to help me. And especially getting like back into work and helping me with things when I had the brain fog and all that stuff was going on. And I think too, because I'm gonna be 52 soon, that I feel almost like more big sistery than motherly, because I'm not that old, but big sisterly, and like I want to tell her all the things, and I want to give her all the things to, you know, that I didn't know and that I didn't realize was going to happen, and I just don't want somebody else to have any of the issues that I had. Like, I don't want anybody else to, like, you know, think that they have to be superheroes, and the doctors will say, oh, just go back to normal life, and like your body just can't because it takes so long to heal. But the doctors say, oh, you're just fine. This hat's annoying me. I don't like pink. See my pink hat? It was very handy in the sun. Anyway, and I feel like this vlog won't make a lot of sense unless like you've gone through all of this. So I was a screaming baby in the hallway. Only in the mornings, though. Yeah, so my head is just with her. I've been sleeping so much better lately. I've been just having better sleep habits in general, and I did order the stupid CPAP machine. Because my snoring has been out of control, and the snoring is A, because the weight gain, and B, because I'm not sleeping on my stomach anymore. I used to always be a stomach sleeper, and I used to sleep so soundly you could hear like a pin drop. I literally once slept through an earthquake. There, back in the 80s or something, I think, maybe 70s, there was a gas station that exploded in New Jersey, and it caused an earthquake, and all the china in our china cabinet, I remember, was like breaking and stuff. And I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And now I snore like ridiculously because I'm sleeping on my back. Because it's not comfortable to sleep on my front, and I still feel like I'm going to pop these too if I sleep on my stomach, which I know isn't true, but that's a whole thing. So yeah, it's an interesting place to be at when people that you know and love are diagnosed too, and share a very similar path as you do. And you can't fix the world. Like, you gotta still focus on you. So I just, like, I'm praying, and I'm sending out the good juju and stuff that her margins are clear, and all the things, like her margins are clear and there's no lymph node involvement, and like, it's just, it brings up so much of like where I was. And I think makes me proud of myself and kinder to myself, which sounds messed up because she's going through like, well, she's probably asleep now, but like when you're going in for the surgery, they inject this dye into you so that they can see the cancer cells better, and that dye burns like shit. And I wasn't expecting that. And like, but then you're asleep like a half hour later or something because you're all, you know, I had a spinal, I think, I can't even remember. Um, but where I am right now, is I see where I am now, and people have told me that they get inspiration from watching the vlogs and seeing like, okay, this is what things will be like X amount of time from now. And I am, what, 2 years and like 2 years and a month after my double mastectomy, which seems like it's a long time, and it's really not. Like, I still haven't had my nipples tattooed on because I don't know if I'm ready for that. And the interesting thing is, I kept voice memos of my like first appointment with plastics and my first appointment with my oncologist, and my first appointment with my breast surgeon, where she told me like all the shit that was going on. I took a voice memo with my phone. I have an Apple, by the way, and the voice memo app like comes with your phone. So like that has been extremely helpful for me in this whole process and remembering stuff. Especially like I go to a lot of appointments on my own. I don't have family here to help, and well, I can rewind. I've had friends that have come to help. I know that that's a lot on friends. But I went back and listened to my first plastics appointment. Well, it was actually my second because I saw another plastic surgeon that I didn't like. But I went back and listened to my first plastics appointment. And he actually talked about nipple reconstruction. And even though a lot of people have complaints, well, I should say a lot, anyone that I know that's had nipple reconstruction has either hated it or undone it and removed the nipple because it's caused so much issue. My plastic surgeon is like no other man in the world. And I feel like however he would do the nipple reconstruction, I mean, he explained to me, would be different from how other people would. And I feel like I see him again the end of next month. Like every 6 months, pretty much I see him. And I want to have more of a discussion about that because I ruled out the nipple reconstruction, but now I'm kind of like, should I try it? Should I not try it? And I want to have a talk with him about that. But I definitely don't want to have, the tattoos put on until like I know what I'm doing with these. Another thing that popped into my head, which I think very quickly popped out, but I'm not quite sure, is if I want to have bigger implants. My implants aren't that much smaller than my original boobs were, but because I put the weight on, like when I put clothes on, not now, because like it's first thing in the morning and I'm wearing black, so you can't tell. So like here, this is what I'm proud of. And part of today, what I want to talk about to get myself up and roaring is like what I'm proud of myself about in this whole journey. Like one is being able to do this because like it sucks that I know, oh, I don't even know if my pits are shaped. But even this, it's interesting. I sweat differently. My sweat like doesn't, sometimes it stinks awfully, but like most of the time I don't even smell my sweat. My armpits right now are a little swollen. That just happens every now and again. You would think it would happen more on my right side because I had more lymph nodes taken out here. This is vulnerability. We're like, I don't know what's going on in here. But for some reason, my left side seems to have more irritation when it comes to the swelling. And the swelling doesn't last, and I've had them check it, and things are fine. And one thing I'll throw out, too, I am seeing a new oncologist just to get a second opinion as to my longer-term treatment plan. And I know who I'm going to go see. I just need to call her to make the appointment. I don't usually vlog first thing in the morning, and I'm trying to get my head wrapped like all over everything because the going back to work thing and honoring your body is where I want to get to. And I'm very cognizant of the time because I got to get going to work and I want to be able to eat breakfast and all the things. Anyway, so like, yeah, the reconstruction part, I want to have a discussion because once I have those tattoos, I can't like undo the tattoos. So I want to, I need to decide kind of like what's going on here. And again, the reason why I say about do I want to go for bigger implants, which I know the answer for that really is no. I need to get my ass to the gym and get back in shape again. When I look down, like my stomach, like in the morning, it's my figure is awesome in the morning. And I see a nutritionist, like I've talked about food and blah blah, and I'm not looking for advice here. I'm just sharing, but like anyone really that's going through this hormone therapy or gets pushed into menopause chemically, it's extreme on your body to get pushed into menopause chemically, and that's from my loop runs. So yeah, my body rebels by like, it puts on all the weight. So yeah, in the morning, like my figure is nice. As the day progresses, like my stomach sticks out more and then my jeans get tight and like all the clothes that I had before, like nothing fits. Some of them, I'm literally twice the size of what I was in some of the clothes that I had. Granted, I was like really thin before I knew I had breast cancer, thinner than I really ever am. I wonder if that was a sign. I don't know. Because I wasn't like super working out and stuff. Now that I think about it, that is kind of strange. I was down to a size 8 and I'm tall. Yeah, I was down to a size 8 and like I hadn't been a size 8 since like high school or something. It was just kind of weird. Whatever, you can question all you want. But I want to switch gears because I gotta get going. I gotta get this under 30 minutes. The points that I'm proud about myself with, because the other thing I said I wanted to talk about was going back to work. Like work, like real work, like you were working before all this shit happened. The ice pack, I don't know exactly what to blame. Like you have the aches and stuff and I don't know what's because of what. I talked to my boss yesterday about like new setups from where I'm sitting and stuff, but I worked 2 part-time jobs right now and so it requires me from going from one spot to the other. They're not far apart from each other, but it's like a different kind of mindset. What I'm grateful for, so I'll be positive, what I'm grateful for is one of the things that I'm doing is my part-time job after, well, I don't know why that's secret. I'm a tutor. I'm a math tutor. One of the courses I'm teaching right now as a math tutor, I haven't taught in a really long time. Like really long time. Like back in the day where course 1 was a class. Remember course 1, if you're a math person? Now they're doing like algebra and geometry and algebra 2, blah, blah. It used to be course 1, course 2, course 3. At least in New York it was. So I'm teaching stuff back from like when I taught course 1 and course 2, which is a really long time ago. And what I'm grateful for is that I'm picking up on it. My brain fog, knock on wood, I think that's real wood. The brain fog's not there at all. I'm just like on, and I hope it lasts. I've obviously been doing it for a couple of months now, and I got to logic yesterday. Oh my God, I was so excited. I'm such a dork. I was so excited because I actually wrote P implies Q, and I'm like, oh, this makes me feel so good. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But I was really excited because when I first did the P implies Q was, I mean, probably when I was in school, but when I first taught it, it was 1995 was the first time I taught logic. There's a high-pitched noise coming from someplace. And it was just, it brought me back to that. It brought me back to being in my 20s and I picked up on it like that. And the speed at which like they go in this course is really fast. So like I have to be like on it. And there's a lot of application questions because it's a really advanced course that I'm tutoring. And some of the questions, they really make you think and they're abstract. And like, I'm an algebra person, so I like formulas and things that are like cut and dry. And that's not what this course is. So I'm grateful that I am like not only doing it, but it's all coming back about like how to teach it and how to get someone to acquire those like upper level thinking skills. I don't know what that noise is. Anyway, so while I'm doing that, I am tutoring many kids this year. So I basically am back to working like pretty much a full-time job. And it's been a while. I have not worked full-time since before all this shit happened. I wasn't even working 5 days a week inside of the studio because I physically, my arms just wouldn't allow me to. What still happens, and I don't know why, and it's something to bring up to plastics because it's been a while, even like right now, with me working all the time, I'm doing this, I'm typing a lot, and then I'm writing a lot. Because the math that I'm doing right now involves like words and sentences and stuff. So I'm writing a lot and for a long period during the day. And my under here, it gets all like right now, it's so gummy in here again. It's not, I've never had, what is it called? Capsular contracture or whatever it is that happens when your muscles contract around your implants. I thought I've had that several times, and then it turned out that in the beginning my shoulder was freezing and I had frozen shoulder. I don't think this is my shoulder. I really don't think it's my shoulder. It's here. It's all around here, and this is where my lymph nodes were taken out. And it's amazing how much of an impact that lymph node removal has. Like, you think it's just a number, like, oh, I had X number of lymph nodes removed. But because each I had 6 removed here, which you have 30 on this side, and I had 6 removed. So it doesn't even impact the swelling as much like anymore. It's 6 additional sites of surgery where things were removed out of my body, and my body wants to create scar tissue to protect them. And I feel like that's what's happening, that in the scar tissue, it's just kind of like it's pulling. One thing is weird, if I go like this, like my left arm feels like pretty normal. My right arm, of course now I can't feel it. Where is it? There's like this like muscle, or not like a tendon or something here, that when it hurts the most underneath here, that tendon gets like, here it is. It gets really tight. I don't even know what that is. It gets really tight. Granted, I have not been in PT now for about a year, so I'm wondering if not doing the exercises is making things start to tighten up again, and all I have to do is start doing the PT exercises again. I could go to PT and see if I can just like have her work with me a little bit. But even when I was in PT, like they're not, in the beginning, they would massage around here to break up the scar tissue. But I'll bring it up, I'll do my exercises, I'll bring it up to plastics, whatever. It's just, that's one non-fun thing that I'm noticing about being back at work, is just the ability for this to keep up with this and my lifestyle. And I'm grateful that I can write again. I'm grateful, lots of gratitude in this one. I'm grateful that I've learned, I wish I was ambidextrous, but I'm not, but I can use my left hand pretty well when it comes to like even navigating on a trackpad. I don't use mice ever since surgery. I use it's easier for me to use a trackpad. I would say that's a practical and weird, and I don't know if I've mentioned that before, like fun fact. Because with the mouse, you're moving it all over. If you have a trackpad, like your hand stays where it is and you're just like manipulating your fingers and your wrist pretty much. And I have a good gel pad for my wrist. So I alternate during the work day. Sometimes my trackpad's on the right side. If my right arm hurts, then it's moving on over to the left side. The ice pack on my lower back, I feel like it's the chairs that I'm in, and the fact that my core is crap right now and I need to get back to exercising. But baby steps, because I'm just like, I have the energy level to get through like my work days and my work week. Adding in, I so want to go back to Zumba, and I know that will help me with my core and with my, I was going to say longevity. That's not the right word. Oh my gosh, it's too early in the morning. I've only had 1 cup of coffee. Oh my gosh. I'm flaking on the word. I'm not wording. I haven't not worded in a long time. Like my ability to get through the day, my durability. I don't know why I'm flaking on the word. Oh my gosh. See, I can do like advanced math, and then I can't do vocabulary. Did I mention my parents were immigrants? Or are immigrants? Oh my gosh. It'll come to me. You're probably all like, you mean this? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm grateful that I have endurance. Psh, There it is. Oh my God. I'm glad that I have, that's not even actually the exact word I was looking for, but the endurance to be able to like do two jobs where like I'm, you know, leaving it first thing in the morning and I get home at night and then I make a meal and then I do the cleaning and all these other things that I'm doing, that I'm able to do all of those things. I am single. And oh, did I mention that I moved? That I had a flood in my apartment? Like, I'm doing all those things and I only have 2 more boxes to unpack. My apartment's coming together. Like, I'm proud of myself that like I'm sitting in my royal yellow chair of like Jen, and that I pulled all this shit together, because holy cow, have I been through a lot. I'm proud of me and who I am as a human, that I have the friends that I have that really stepped up to help me, not just in like actions, but there was a GoFundMe that a friend of mine put together for me, and I don't know what I would have done without that. The generosity of people just like is incredible, that I was able to go buy a bedroom set when I didn't have like thousands of dollars to throw around, because like these medical bills aren't cheap. They're just starting to settle down really now, because I'm not going to appointments, like, except for the Lupron, I'm not going to appointments like monthly anymore. And my place is smaller, so I had less things to buy, but my furniture was not salvageable. It was all, there was moisture everywhere. One piece I did take back, and I'm hoping it ends up still being functional. We'll find out if it tips over. But I'm proud of myself and how far that I've come. The biggest thing I still need to work on is I love myself. I don't necessarily love my body yet. I'm nurturing with it. I take care of it, like doing stuff like things with my, you know, cute little nails and stuff. But the weight gain has been a hard thing to wrap my head around, because every morning when I go to get dressed, which is partly why like I'm at 32 minutes, I should be getting dressed, but I don't want to get dressed, and I wish I could just go to work in sweats and a sweatshirt. But I'd be too hot because of the hot flashes, and I haven't taken my gabapentin yet. But I'm not at a place of acceptance and love with my body yet. It's not even about the foobs. It's about like the shape of my body. It's not the shape that it was before. My legs are, so I accentuate my legs as much as I can. I wore like tight jeans yesterday and a little heeled boot, and my legs looked great. So maybe that will sidetrack people from noticing that I've put on a bit of weight. But I'm proud of how far I've come. I was at a place where all I was doing was this, like my arms were just stuck here. And I'm proud that I can go like this and look, it's cleavage, you know. I thought a double mastectomy, like I didn't know what my boobs would look like when I'm done. And the fact that I can like, whoop, do that is kind of awesome. And that feels really weird. And I'm comfortable maneuvering the ladies now, but like when I do that, it literally feels like I have these 2 things inside of me that are getting stuck together. That's a really weird feeling. Oh, I need to stop doing that, but it's kind of amusing. I don't feel like they're almost like toys. Honestly, they're like toys. And even the fact of things being numb, I don't know how to explain that. I didn't know that after you have the surgery that your boobs would be numb. I'm at a place now that like I can like touch and stuff, and it's not weird, like, because they're soft. Like right after you have the surgery, everything's just so hard, you know, and you can't like move. You're not supposed to move stuff around. Like you've got to let stuff heal. But like things are relatively soft now. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I know that like that's just what it's going to look like. For the first, it is true. I would say the first 12 to 18 months, like you don't really know what your boobs are going to look like. How they heal, it's going to change, especially if you have expanders, obviously, because the size of your breast will change. But the numbness, like when I remember when I had PT, she, especially like in this area, like she would pinch to wake up the nerves and stuff, and holy shit, did that hurt. But it's not like it's weird. There's such different levels of like what's numb and what's not. I would say if you know, you know, but like when I touch here, like, yes, there's parts that are numb, but if I push, it's like stuff underneath it isn't necessarily numb. And like, I can move the whole boob. Like, it's really hard to explain. I think the numbness is more shocking in the beginning because it's just a very bizarre feeling. But I encourage anyone who's like going through this to not be afraid to touch them, gently, of course. But the more, it's like a baby, the more touch you have, the more connected you feel with them. And it's the same way here too. I was not really comfortable touching them for a very long time. And I think that was kind of what made or helped the frozen shoulder thing come along. But I can do all the things. I can move these. God, I remember when I couldn't do that at all. I could even like reach my arm out. I can go up. Woo. Even when you do that, it feels weird because it's like your boob goes up with it. You can go up, you can go out. Like if you saw my vlogs from a long time ago, I could not do those things. I couldn't put my hair back in a ponytail. Like I'm grateful I can do this because I couldn't do that after surgery. It's just amazing what the human body does to heal. And it's amazing what the humans around you do to help you heal. And just anyone that's going through this, take it all in. Take it all in and let it fill you. Don't feel like you're obligated to like, I have to pay each person back. I was in that space. I said I was going to have this big party after I was moved in to thank all the people that helped me with everything. And honestly, there's so many people and COVID rates are going back up again. And I'm like, I can't do that. But for me, helping other people, I get that I don't have to do that. When you love people unconditionally, you don't have to have a party to be validated for whatever you did to help. My friends know what they've done to help. And I'm extraordinarily grateful for that. Even in the beginning when like I was going to doctor's appointments and stuff, and I was very careful about who I chose to go to those appointments with me, like friend-wise. But I'm grateful for like them paying attention and taking notes and helping me record things and saying, you know, whatever they were saying. I'm so extraordinarily grateful for the humans that are around me that helped. And I know I talk a lot about the people that didn't. That's not where I want to keep my energy right now. I know everyone has their own story. And if anything, my trip at Canyon Ranch helped me see that like people that step away, you can't take it personally because it's often because of reasons that you can't quite understand. And breast cancer, any cancer, is a lot. It's a lot to take in. It can be very triggering for people. And it can be scary for them. I'm not saying it's okay to like disappear and leave you. I'm just saying that like, I think the understanding I have now is that if someone loves you a lot and they're seeing you go through a very difficult time where they potentially could lose you, I think sometimes they might think it's easier to separate themselves now than God forbid you're gone and then they have to deal with that. I've done that myself, just not for long periods of time. I've eventually come back around and then apologized, and then the other people have been like, no, that's okay. Anyway, I'm going into a whole other, and I'm at 30 minutes, I gotta go. Oh my God, my back hurts so much. I'm hobbling like an 80-year-old woman today. Anyway, gotta get to work. No tutoring today, so I can give myself a little bit of a break. And I'm gonna wear sneakers to work because my body needs that today. So that's where I am. So gratitude. I'd say if you're watching this today, but like I'm like 2 months behind on vlogs. So at this point, if you watch it, like when you're watching it now, like my friend will have been through surgery like 2 months ago or something. But please send good energy out that I would say really anybody that's going through surgery or all of this crazy just has a slightly easier path, and that healing, I do believe in the power, like, the energy of people's well wishes and prayers. And that if we just band together and spread out the joy and the good and the gratitude and the help for other people, it will have such an enormous ripple effect. So, yeah, just do something nice for someone today. You know, whether that's praying or calling someone or offering something or opening a door for someone or whatever it might be. Just do something nice for someone today. Every day is a lot to go through, and we're thankful for what we have. And sometimes it's really important to share that that gratitude with other people. All right, I will see y'all soon. Take care. Isn't that a nice shape? Woo! All right, till next time. Bye.